Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
7th Street Productions, 31 Days of Halloween.
Greetings, Earthlings! Welcome back to 7th Street, and welcome back to 7th Street Productions' 31 Days of Halloween, where we are counting down my personal top 31 favorite horror films of all time. And we have come to number 23. Wow, that was pretty clunky. We've come to number 23, and this is a horror film that is considered a classic. It's considered it has made the director of this film sort of a master of horror, even though this is really the only horror film that he ever directed, and that would of course be John Landis's trademark film, American Werewolf in London. This movie is such a gem. It's sort of a horror comedy. It's about two friends who are backpacking through Europe, I believe, because they say that they're, like, eventually going to end up in Italy or something like that. They end up out, like, on the moors, you know, alone, looking, just kind of going down this one road, and they stumble across this town, where they stop in for a drink, and the people inside are really sketchy, and have, like, pentagrams and stuff painted on the wall. And the kids end up getting kicked out, and they're wandering alone at night, and of course they get attacked by a werewolf, killing one of the characters, one of the friends, played by Griffin Dunne, who's phenomenal in this film, and really in everything that he does, and wounding the other friend, who ends up in the hospital, and starts suffering from, like, all these crazy nightmares. And then eventually he starts changing into a werewolf and running around at night, you know, eating people. But one of the great things about this film is that, like, he's haunted by all of his victims, and, like, his dead best friend, like, all the victims of the werewolf, like, bloodline or whatever, like, haunts him. He sees them, and they, like, harass him and try to convince him to kill himself and stuff. And it's just a really sort of, like, bizarre take on the werewolf sort of mythology. It's just a really, really fun film. The soundtrack is great. Every single song in it has Moon in the song. And yeah, I mean, for me, this is kind of like, you know, John Landis, he did some good stuff, right? He did Animal House and everything, but this is my favorite of his films for a number of reasons, and it's really one of those instances where it just took one horror film to consider somebody a master of horror. He really is a master director. Of course, he had some mishaps on Twilight Zone the movie and stuff that have sort of hindered his career. But this is a fantastic film. I label this one as a must-watch. You gotta see American Werewolf in London.